Guys, welcome. It's your boy Ghost, Off Track TV, and today what we're going to be doing is talking about how I got into motorcycling. But first, all the intro. It's a funny old story. How I started motorcycling, how I became to love it, and it goes a little something like this. It started off as a dream. Yeah, you heard me, a dream. It was about 2019, I believe, around December, and I had this wild, crazy dream that I owned a scooter, and I'm not sure, I don't exactly remember how I got the scooter. All I know is that I had a scooter and I was going everywhere with it, left, right and centre. I was going football, I was going to my nan's house, I was going to work, and this time I was working at Tesco. So basically I've had the scooter now in this crazy dream. I have no idea if it's a dream, but it feels totally real. And look outside, man, it's beautiful. So yeah, it feels totally real, this dream. And so all of a sudden I wake up in bed. I'm still thinking that this is all real, this is really happening. I get ready for work, put my jacket on as you do, go outside, and there's no bike there. And I'm just confused, and I'm like, and I realized it was just a dream. And I was so deflated, man. I was absolutely torn apart by finding out that this was just a dream. Like, you don't understand, man. This really did man in. I took the wrong turn, you know. It's fine. Oh, that's bumpy. This really did me in, man. And from that day on, I just had this drive, because I hated taking the bus, taking any form of transport by myself. It was so annoying going on the bus. Someone smells like pee. You go upstairs to the top deck, you know, there's a box of chicken and chips on the floor. It's so disgusting, smelly. Ah, mate. So anyway, that day after work, I got my phone out and I started studying. What is the route that you can take to get a bike? And this time I was just interested in scooters, right? Specifically the Honda PCX and the Forza something or the other. I can't remember exactly what bike it was, but I know it was a 300, but I had no idea like there was classes of bikes and you had to get different licenses at this time. So anyway, I figure out that you have to get a CBT, you have to have at least a valid provisional license. And okay, so I sorted that out. I did my CBT, and it was a bit scary at first. I was a bit shaky. I've never ridden a scooter or any kind of bike like that before. Obviously I've ridden a bicycle, but nothing motorized like that. And it was very just wobbly and shaky, and oh man. But after a bit of practice, to say about half an hour of you know, doing the lefts and right turns, U-turns, I was alright, I wasn't too bad. And so went out on the road now, and there was this one section of road. It was about 40 miles an hour for maybe about 3 minutes down the road, and that's when I knew that I enjoyed this. Like, I wasn't in love with it, but I enjoyed this. Like, this is definitely for me. And so I've passed my CBT now. Funny enough, the day before my CBT, I went and purchased the PCX that I wanted, and I did my theory somewhere around here. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah. So I did my piece. I got my PCX the day before my CBT, so that the day of my CBT, I went and picked up my PCX and I rode it home. Luckily, it was only a 2-minute drive, so I'd have had no long drive to get back to my house. Look at the shard all the way up there, man. It's crazy. I always see this building from my house, but I've never actually been here. It's literally not that far. So I picked up the PCX and everything was good, everything was golden. And so prior to me getting the PCX, I had to search around for what I wanted. I was looking at reviews and that, and slowly and surely I started getting random recommendations. For like different types of bike videos. It was incredible. I was seeing guys on proper motorcycles like this 125 here, and they were just riding up and down in groups, just having fun, you know. So yeah, as I was saying, I started getting these recommendations on my YouTube feed about all these different guys, Dank Wheelie, Royal Jordanian, Jigsaw, maybe not the best role models or videos you should be watching when you're first looking at motorcycles, but you know, just living this bike life is so fun out in America, and some UK guys as well. But anyway, after seeing these videos for a good like 6 months, I just slowly and surely started to get into it more and more and more, until I was like, you know what, I like this scooter, but I think I need a motorcycle, you know what I'm saying? And so I started doing the research, and eventually I stuck with the Ninja 125. That was the bike that I wanted. And they're probably wondering, but you're on an LXR? And I'll get to that soon, I promise. So basically, after selling the Ninja 125, I started looking at how to change gears, right? I watched YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video on how to change gears. Now, I was already familiar about how to change gears on a car because I've driven cars before, right? And you know, once you drive cars, you know more or less, or you understand how a transmission works, you understand how the clutch works. So that was cool with me, I had no problem with that. Now it's just putting it into practice on the motorcycle, because it's more or less reverse, you know, clutch with your hand, not with your foot, accelerate with your hand, not with your foot, you brake with your foot and your hand. So it was a bit of a reversal thing going on there. And so that was it. Now a couple of weeks before I went to purchase the Ninja 125 that I was sit on, it was a windy day and my PCX fell down in the wind, so I went to a mechanic literally right around the corner from my house to get it fixed. And right there and then, I saw it, this exact bike, the Lexmoto LXR, sitting there pretty, looking at me, and I was like, this is the 125? He said, yeah, this is the 125. And I was like, what the hell, how is this a 125? It looks so fucking good. You man know, you don't know this bike looks so good. Look at it, just look at it. But I digress. Pop, you love to hear it. So anyway, as I was saying, how could I deny a bike that looks this damn good? And right, listen, when you're looking at bikes like this, performance doesn't matter because it's a 125. Okay, maybe sometimes there'll be an R125 in front of me and they'll just go off, and I'll kind of be lagging behind, but that doesn't matter because either way they're just 125. Should I go through that gap? I feel like I should, but like I might die. Let's not do that. So anyway, I settled on this bike and I'm like, you know what, I'll have this, I want it. So I swapped the PCX for this. Unfortunately not a direct swap. A swap cost like, I think 600 quid or 500 quid, and that was me sorted. I rode that bike for the very first time, changing gears from a mechanic to my house. Like I said, it was not far, literally maybe like a 5-minute journey max. And I rode it all the way in first gear through some back roads to my house. So I rode that bike in first gear from the mechanic to my house, which is maybe a very short journey, through the back roads. And I didn't stall it. To my credit, I did not stall that bike. And then I showed it off to my mum for about 5 minutes, and then I set off on the trek from my house to the petrol station, which is probably about 10 minutes. And that wasn't too bad. I changed into second, and I think I didn't change into third. I definitely didn't change into third because I was too scared I was installed. I need to bust a Yui somewhere. Right here, fam. And then I rode it home, and that's the story, man. That's it of how I got into bikes. It was just the feeling. I felt the vibe through the YouTube videos of how the bike community is, and now I'm on a proper motorbike. I feel it even more. It's amazing. It's even riding a bike alone just gives you a different kind of feeling. Hearing that. I'm not going very fast. 40 miles an hour, if that. And I'm smiling ear to ear, man, on a 125. If I can smile like, if a 125 can make me this happy, imagine how a 600 wouldn't be happy when I finally passed my test. I've never felt like this in the car, I'll tell you that right now. There are days where it was raining, pouring down with rain, and I'm just here listening to music bopping my head. It may sound crazy, but until you've been on one of these, I'm telling you, you just won't understand it. I think my audio may have cut out. I'm gonna look and hopefully all the audio's still working. But just as you've seen, that's exactly what I mean, man. Just little things like that to just the straight camaraderie of the motorcycle community is just amazing. Completely and utterly insane. You don't get stuff like this driving in the car, man. No one's gonna pull up next to you and be like, yo, what's good? Rev their engine. It doesn't happen. You just don't see it. Blaze is doing his CBT tomorrow, or today. It will be today for you. Tuesday, let's see, can't even see what day that is. I think it's the 6th. I think it's Tuesday the 6th today. Yeah, he'll be doing CBT today, and that means you'll be seeing him very soon on this channel. Back again. Let's go. This has been a crazy video in the early hours of the morning. Let me know if you like videos like this. Just me waffling. I'm not a very good waffler, as you can probably tell. I stray off topic like all the time, but who cares? Who cares? I've been your boy Ghost. This has been a random ride of me waffling.